we're already onto the first round here on Bicycle. All right, starting us off with Miquatro for Tauceti Esports in his first World Cup, going up against 3 previous world champions. Has to feel a little bit daunting, but if you want to become the world champion, then now is when you have to do it and prove that you are capable. That is the only way to do it, but you can see the difference here a little bit in the start. The 3 others are off to a really fast one. Pack with a great turn there into the dirt, building up speed, but look at Miquatro here, managing the field, advancing past both Spam and Kappa and getting more speed in the uphill here. So important on Bicycle. Dodge the 3 on the jump, land clean here, but Pack has gotten a lead by 0.3 of a second, which, as we know, is a big one to hold into the identity. Miquatro sadly clipping the wall just a little bit there, putting him behind the other 3, and now we're going on board with Spam for that battle for second place. He's right on the tail behind Kappa, but can he overtake in the last booster here? Goes for a lot of speed, but the gap is too big to close. Pack starting us off with a 109.97. Kappa getting a 110.3 there in second. Spam a little bit behind in third, and Miquatro in fourth.
And yesterday when we watched Pack play this map, he got 3 firsts and a second with some blistering pace as well. World record here, a 109.59, so already within half a second of the world record in round 1 of the day. As we move on to round 2, once again, it's Pack out to an early lead. Spam trying to chase him down. Everyone relatively close right now, only a 10th between them all. Spam catching a little bit more air than perhaps he would have liked to over that transition. We move our way up into the left-hander and then down across back towards the right. Kappa has a slight lead, about 400ths ahead of Pack, but across the dirt, Pack can try and catch up some of this time. You can see, look at how much speed Pack maintains through that dirt transition. Just takes such an advantage. 2 tenths ahead of Spam, 2 tenths ahead of Miquatro. Kappa's fallen down to the back of the pack as now we move in towards the identity. Pack still with that lead, about 2 tenths ahead. Spam's going to try and take a tighter line through the grass to catch up with him. Kappa here as well as they all get into the first turnaround. Pack still with a bit of a lead, but you can see a little bit of extra speed there from Spam and from Kappa. Kappa goes very deep and absolutely slingshots out of the back of it, stealing second place away from Spam, and Miquatro comes home in fourth.
Wow, great snipe there by Kappa. We know it can be so close on the turnaround. He gets a little bit more speed, and that, as you said, is enough to get a second place now. So far it's a clean, it was a repeat round. Pack winning 2, Kappa 2 second places, Spam 2 third places, and Miquatro 2 fourth places. Let's see if anything changes up here now on the third round. Now that we've passed the warm-up, we've passed the first 2 rounds. They should be getting into it now, but Spam hitting the wall here in the opening. So we have a bit of a gap unfolding already. Kappa, though, this time challenging Pack for the lead here, going for a great start there. Getting a huge gap down to the Englishman, but can he hold it in the dirt here? We saw Pack build so much speed in the rounds prior, and he is closing that distance now. Less than it was before on the previous checkpoint, but Kappa pushing with a lot of speed here. Will actually extend his lead. Can he make that jump? Looks good up front, and Miquatro dropping off here. It is going to be between Pack and Kappa for the round win. Kappa so far has held this round very dominantly. Is looking for a 109 time here with a good ending. Pack here will happily take a second place after that good opening. But let's see if he could get closer, just hoping for a mistake from Kappa. And it might have happened, Kappa hitting the penalty grass, but getting the slingshot back just in time. And ooh, if Kappa went just 1 or 2 centimeters further, I don't think he had that round, Medic.
Yeah, you could see just going a little bit further than he wanted, but able to bring it back quickly enough that he could slingshot himself ahead of Pack. And Kappa and Pack really challenging there between the two of them. 26 points, 22. Spam and Miquatro have been sharing third and fourth across the last couple of rounds, and now they'll really want to start getting some of those higher finishes. You know, just getting yourself on the board, getting yourself a bit of momentum is so important, even though this is a longer form system. You know, you're looking for 120 points. You have a lot of maps that you need to win to get there. If you can get yourself to 40, so 50 points early on, it just sets you up in such good stead for the later maps. Pack and Kappa, though, once again challenging at the front. Spam has fallen back about 4 tenths from the rest of the drivers as Miquatro is looking forward at these two guys who have seemed insurmountable so far today. Pack, of course, having a very strong day one. Kappa as well, I believe, sitting at 5 points right now in our total leaderboards. Onto the identity once again in this race between Pack and Kappa. Only about a 10th between them two. Kappa has gone a little bit deep the last couple of times on the second part of this identity. All four of them in procession, a conga line down towards the second turnaround, and Kappa holds on to it this time. Should have enough speed to keep himself ahead of Pack. Miquatro getting chased down by Spam, but still manages to stay ahead. Kappa, Pack, Miquatro, Spam is the order.
Yeah, just barely there, and very impressive by Kappa to fight back, getting 2 rounds of his own. And we actually have a very nice scoreboard there. 32, 32, 14, 14. The positions mixed up just the same. And now we're going on to map number 2, Medic. What do we have on the menu?
We're going to move on to Circles next. A very technical map. The identity, not the be-all and end-all of this. We're going to see some very close races, usually things decided by 100th, sometimes even 1,000th here, Virtual.
Yeah, Circles is one of the closest maps in the entire map pack. We talked about it all yesterday, but this one, when played at this level, especially when you have names like Pack and Kappa fighting, and Spam and Miquatro can be very competitive here too, it's just going to be so fast, and we'll see what times they can dish out. Hopefully we see 111s every round, and hopefully we see really close matches. Here we go into the first round of Circles, Medic.
We do. Early on, you get the ice. Just want to work it up on towards this right-hander. The start of this map, we expect everyone to be very close together. It's a few transitions. You're looking for some good drifts around some of these corners, just trying to get as much speed and maintain as much speed as you can. When we really get down to the more difficult parts, you're looking towards that ice wall, making sure that you maintain as much speed through here as possible, because the speed that you have through here carries on for the next 15 seconds or so of the map. Down across this reactor booster next, Miquatro, Spam, and Pack all in the lead. Kappa has fallen to the wayside, at least in this round. Pack and Spam basically on top of each other as we get through the wall right now into the drift, over the freewheeling and onto the grass. You want to keep as much speed as you can through here. Low into high line is what we tend to see. Onto the identity. First circle, all three of them going for that middling jump as Pack still has about a 2/10 advantage, but you can see Pack goes higher on the wall there. Should be able to maintain his speed through here. Is going to get chased down just a little bit by Spam, but Pack should have this one ahead of Spam, ahead of Miquatro. And Kappa will come home in last place, a 111.692.
Yeah, very nice there, has to be said. We were hoping for 111s. 111.6 in the first round is just 0.3 of a second behind the world record. Pack with a stellar run there in the first round. And we still have 3 more of these world-class rounds to go here between the players. But we do see Pack and Kappa sort of trading first places all the way up until now, where Spam finally managed to get a 6-pointer. So good development from him. Let's see if he can keep it up. This time, Kappa getting a much better start than all the others. Actually, managing to get about a 0.10 lead, which, 0.2 actually. It's not something we see that often, because it's very hard to drive this better than the others when the lines are so forced. Will get reeled in a little bit here, but he's taking a line that just builds a little bit more speed. Let's see if he manages to do it properly. Spam actually getting the best of that and getting closer to Kappa now as they go through the turnover, trying to build speed across the grass. Spam with a great speed slide there to maintain the speed, and he will get even closer to Kappa right next to him as they go into the drift here. Different lines coming through. Kappa will have the speed advantage, but has to try to control it. As Pack also rolls into the screen, we have 3 players all side by side as we go into the first circle now. Quarter pipe landing, so important. And then the booster build up speed, jump high, and try to land early onto the quarter pipe to build speed towards the finish. It's so close between all 3, but Spam with the most speed should have the grips on this round unless he messes up the last turn. But no, Spam has it with a 111.8, just ahead of Kappa and Pack in third.
A big win there for Spam. The first time he's won a map in this round, and you can see how much closer it gets him with Pack and Kappa. Miquatro still sitting down at the bottom of the pack, but Spam almost within touching distance. You know, a couple of wins will really catapult him up there to fight with Kappa and Pack for those finalist positions. Third round, here on Circles, as we once again make our way onto the road, and we'll see once again Kappa getting off to an early start. He has a very strong lead here, as he did in round 2. It's going to be about a couple of hundredths as we get through this checkpoint onto the ice wall. Basically all of them clumped up together. Kappa has a little bit more speed as we go down this downhill, but this reactor boost can make all the difference. Spam going to try and catch just up with Kappa, who takes the low line. Pack and Spam basically on top of each other as we get up towards this drift. Miquatro there as well, fighting for as many points as possible. But Kappa and Pack are the ones who have got a slight lead moving into the identity. Miquatro overtakes Spam right at the final position before we get on into that first jump. Kappa ahead, Pack has fallen out. Kappa comes down first onto the second part of the half pipe. Spam has knocked himself up. Miquatro's trying to chase down Kappa. Pack here as well. Pack almost takes him at the line, but Kappa will take it. Pack second, Miquatro third, and Spam will come home in fourth.
And just think about it, right? Like 3 players within a 10th of a second. Think about how little of a difference that is. You drive for 1 minute, and all that separates you is just 0.05 of a second. That's the difference between getting 10 points here and getting 4 points. It's so competitive rounds, and the smallest differences in racing lines and mistakes will decide these rounds. So already in the start, all the details matter here. You really cannot afford to lose at any part of the track, like Pack here, losing just a little bit of speed, allowing the others to catch up. And it's going to be like this all the way in the final round on circles. Want to squeeze out here and try to maybe get one final 10-pointer out of this map. You have to go fast. Kappa here now setting up for this ice line in the back of the field. Let's see how much speed he's able to propel out of that. Spam falling down with less speed, but Miquatro now, healthy signs from him as he's challenging Pack for the 10-pointer. Has the lead on the round right now, but less speed across this long part, and that is going to cost him. We see Kappa go for this adapted wall ride line, going underneath that sign to reduce airtime just a little bit more than the others. And he is catching up here, but Pack has the lead. Last round, he fell short on this jump, and Miquatro clipping the corner. Kappa messing up the line a little bit. Pack now with a really strong lead into this round. With 1 jump to go, can Pack do it and get another 10-pointer to his name? It looks solid for him. Pack should be able to hold that. Kappa should be getting second here, but Spam is creeping closer. And it's only 400ths between the two. And Miquatro will round out circles here with a 4th place.
Solid time as well there from Pack, 111.6, very fast, only 0.3 away from the world record as we do round out circles. We see Pack with a slight lead, 5 points ahead of Kappa, who is in 2nd place, and then we fall back towards Spam in 3rd, with Miquatro rounding it out in 4th. Next map we move on to, I believe, is going to be Slalom. Virtual.
Ooh, we are going up and down and weaving between the gates on Slalom. Looking forward to it. This is a really good map for Pack. He was so good on it in the regular season. It's a really good map for Kappa as well. They were some of the top players when it was played in the 6-lap format. We know Kappa has the world record here, a 104.29. So, and Pack has been very close to that. We've seen rounds of 104.6, so with only, 0.3 of a second behind it. Yeah, Medic, this is one to look forward to for sure. Slalom is going to be very close between all these players. Let's get into the first round here, as we're about halfway in the match now.
Let's do it. Pack sitting at 62 points, needs 60 more before he gets on into finalists, and then just that final win, of course, to take him the 3 points home. Now, Spam, Kappa, and Pack out to a relatively good start here. Relatively, well, not easy lines, but relatively consistent lines between all 3 of them to start this off. Kappa going a little bit wider into this grass, and you can see Spam trying to use all of the space that he can. Miquatro trying to chase them down as well as we move on to the dirt transition. Spam catching just a little bit. Miquatro still very close within this. Only 0.2 between all 4 races. Almost 3 now as Miquatro falls just a little bit more, but Kappa is out. And now it's all on Pack, Miquatro, and Spam. And Pack has a massive lead. Miquatro out as well. Already 2 players crashing out onto the final turn. The most difficult turn on the map. You've got to keep your grip. And we did see Pack fail that a couple of times. This time, both he and Spam managed to take the ice turn. And we'll just ride it down to the finish here. Pack will come in first. Spam will come in second. Miquatro and Kappa will fight for 3rd. And 4th looks like it's going to be Kappa 3rd. Miquatro 4th.
Yeah, wow. Pack there, despite the others crashing, still showing his pace here. Drives a rather safe 104.8, it looks like. The others are going to have to try to fix those mistakes now, because this is a very demanding map. You have those slalom parts, especially the reactor booster one, I think is one you struggle with. Because you just have to commit. Like, in this game, you cannot hesitate. If you start going for a racing line, you kind of have to stick to it. Because if you start hesitating, you will be too late for the next corner, and this will snowball into a big time loss. So, really just gotta shake loose and just go for the lines that you're setting up for. So, we'll see it here in the second round if they're able to do that. Spam and Miquatro, Kappa and Miquatro, who both failed in this corner here coming up. If they can fix the mistake, but no. Kappa hitting the first pillar of the slalom. Up the uphill we go now. And Miquatro's looking solid here. Will get it. Spam having to release. And Pack still in a demanding first place here as we're coming up towards the ice slalom part. Very tricky to do this turnaround here, as you could lose grip, lose the gear, and go up the hill. Spam almost losing it there, but holds it down. Miquatro trying to challenge Pack here for that win, but Pack will take a nice and easy 104.5 for the win there. Another well-deserved 10 points for Pack.
Within 0.3 of the world record. It's actually absurd just how quick Pack is right now. And with Kappa failing these last couple of maps, Pack now has an 18-point lead over the chasing group of players here. Kappa sitting at 64, Spam, Miquatro down at 47 and 37 respectively. And the question is, will anyone be able to catch up with the British Bulldog, with Pack, who is up there in first place, or will we see him getting 3 points once again? I believe for the third time here at TMGL. For now, though, we still have 2 more rounds left on Slalom. Miquatro out to a slight early lead here. Pack trying to chase him down. Very tight corner there onto the dirt as we see all 4 racers only separated by a 10th. Now, the sides of Slalom have cost many lives already today. Kappa and Miquatro struggling through this. Kappa going quite wide, but able just to hold on to the speed, and all 4 of them are through safely. Puck with more speed as they move towards the final ice corner, but everyone basically within touching distance of each other. Only Spam has fallen behind. Don't overturn it. Pack does. Kappa does as well. And Spam from 4th to 1st has somehow found it. But Miquatro with more speed will get first. Spam comes home in 2nd. Pack 3rd. And Kappa comes home in 4th.
And that is so big for Miquatro here to stay alive in the match and to still have a fighting chance. He needed a 10-pointer to bring him back, and he gets it in the best possible spot, with Pack and Kappa getting less points in that round. So essentially just bringing everyone closer together there in the overall standings. But, you know, we talked about Pack on the opening day when he got only 1 point out of that first round, and we were thinking, like, what is this? You know, Pack, he's one of the favorites. Is he going to be able to keep up with that pressure? This match, he's been driving absolutely insane overall. I think that was one of his first mistakes, like first crashes after, you know, 13 rounds. So very impressive performance here by Pack to put him at 86 points now already. Kappa there with a small bump in the dirt, falling down into 4th place. But we're seeing some healthy signs from Miquatro here. He had a really good start to the previous round, and he's extending it now. Spam, the only one who was able to keep up, but he had a shaky uphill, and now Miquatro could get another 10-pointer here to close out Slalom. Just needs to nail this last turnaround and keep the lead against the others. Pack maybe getting a little bit closer here with more speed. This could be very close here. Pack is pushing this one. Will he overtake Miquatro on the finish line? Oh, it's a snipe from down under with 200s to go. Pack takes the 10. Miquatro getting 6 though. Spam at 4 points, and Kappa will roll in with 3 points here.
Yeah, Pack just with that little bit more speed through the ice turn, meaning that he was able to get those 200s he needed to overtake Miquatro. But as you say, a great map for Miquatro, from 28 points to 56, I believe, across the course of that map. Basically doubled his total in one single map. Next up, though, we move on to... I've lost it. It's a Zigzag. One of the newer maps. A very fun map to play. Let's go.
And this is actually the first time we see the map preview for Zigzag. This track here, it was built specifically for the playoffs. We have not seen it before in Trackmania competitions. And this track is really just a really cool all-round track with a lot of different potential racing lines the players can go for. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. We saw Kappa had a different line on the opening day of the championship, but will he continue to go for that line now? After seeing what the other players are doing, will he adapt? Will he go for the same? This is something that, well, let's see. Pack here getting ever closer to the points limit, which is 120 points. So he could get there already on this map. Once he gets there, he just needs to win one more round to secure 3 points out of this match and a win. So Kappa's still going for his own line, so he doesn't go all the way up on that dirt bend, will land earlier on the ice and now have a lot more speed that he needs to control. He manages it, he takes the lead, but now look at this. The other 3 players here are going to do this low jump on the left and then a wide line for speed. Whereas Kappa just goes for the inside line to then build more speed in this corner. Spam, crashing and hitting the wall, will drop down. Pack with more speed through the loop will actually overtake first here from Kappa, just about there in that drift, does it a little bit better, but the battle still continues for that first place. This is not over by any means. You can gain up this distance here on the identity, the 3 grass jumps consecutively. Kappa here overtaking the first place after the first one, now trying to build up speed in the second. Where is Pack though? He's chasing right behind him, and it's gonna come right down to the ending here. Pack setting up for speed, pushes that corner, he tries it, but it doesn't work. And now the final jump, 250 speed is needed on this landing to make that jump into the finish. Kappa starting off here with 10 points and a 1:18.15.
Yeah, good race there from Kappa, keeping it clean at the end. You could see Pack really pushing it, but wasn't quite able to close it out. I will say as well, remember, it was the new maps that Pack really struggled on when we watched him on day 1 in round 1. And I think perhaps we see a little bit of that struggle here, although a small mistake is something that can be forgiven if you rectify it in the next round. Let's see if he can do that as we get onto round 2 here on the Zigzag. Last time Spam fell out pretty early. Miquatro having to release a little bit there to make sure he could get round the corner because he went very wide on the first turn, but everyone safely through onto this ice jump, trying to get as much speed as you can. Pack with quite a bit of airtime. Kappa's going to be able to overtake him, and Pack is out basically of this race, relying on others' mistakes. Now Kappa with that inside line that you so eloquently pointed out in round 1 Virtual. As we move on into the bobsleigh, Kappa has more speed here. Spam is catching Miquatro in second place though. Really want 360 speed through that loop. Looks like we were a tiny bit short for Miquatro and for Spam, but they are going to be able to keep in touching distance of Kappa, who is in first. 2/10 separate first, second and third right now. Pack very much out of this race, 1.5 seconds down through the first jump of the identity into the second. Miquatro taking a slightly wider line here, is going to have a little bit more speed into this next jump. It's going to try and maintain it as we get round towards the final jump to the finish line. We've seen so many people fail this across the course of the last couple of days. Miquatro goes a little bit wide first. It's going to be Kappa, then Spam. Miquatro just gets over the line, and Pack comes home in 4th.
Yeah, so we talked about Pack being close to reaching finalists, but now 2 positions near the bottom, and he still has to get 17 points, and Kappa is getting closer here with these wins. Now up to 90 points and only a 13-point gap, and if this continues, Kappa could almost get up to a lead in the match, getting ever closer. And we see Miquatro and Spam being relatively even with 63 and 66 points, and as Spam now sits in the 8th place in the overall rankings, every single point here for him matters, and Miquatro especially, near the bottom of the overall standings, needs that 1 point, or maybe even 2 if he can get it. So, very important round here for all the players, as we see Spam dropping down a little bit, but making it back now with a risky line there to get a bit more speed. He's only 0.14 behind, but Kappa has failed his line a little bit. He lost a lot of time with that, and Spam, with perfect speed almost through the ice turn, will actually climb up into first. A great comeback in this round from the Dutch player, as he's now challenging Pack for the first place. Miquatro a little bit behind the 2, and now we'll see whose lines in the identity sections are the best ones. Who has this figured out? The jumps, the speed, the angles, it's all a combination. And who has cracked it the best? Pack here so far leading, building up a tiny lead before the last drift now, where speed is king. It's so important. It's actually a race between all 4 players. This is going to come down to the wire. Pack still in the lead, still more speed, but a low jump. Could Spam overtake? Almost. But Pack now fights back. He stops the bleeding, and he gets 10 more points to his name.
Yeah, huge win there for Pack. Gets himself up to 113. Of course, does mean he needs a first place or 2 more finishes to make it all the way to finalists. But no one really within striking distance of him right now. Kappa sitting down at 94, Spam 72, Miquatro 66. Like, he has a little bit of breathing space to make sure he can get towards that red badge. Once again, though, we go on to the Zigzag for the final time in this round. Kappa with that inside line, trying to get as much speed as he can down into this ice turn. Looks like there was a tiny touch there, but doesn't seem to have affected them too much, as everyone within breathing distance of each other right now. Spam losing a little bit of speed. Kappa taking that inside line once again to try and set up for the bobsleigh. Pack with a good drift, though. It's going to get onto that bobsleigh first. Chased by Miquatro, chased by Spam, as they all get over the loop, basically within punching distance of each other. Pack just has that slight lead. Spam falls behind as Miquatro tries to take a tight dirt line here to catch up with Kappa and Pack, but can't quite get the extra acceleration that he was looking for until he gets into the identity, and now he's really fighting against Pack, really gaining that advantage as we get on into these final couple of turns. Miquatro has taken the lead away from Pack, meaning Pack will need an extra finish, but Pack with a very tight final line. It's all going to come down to the final jump. Miquatro 300ths away from first place. Pack takes it, then Miquatro, Spam, and Kappa to round it out.
And we're really seeing Miquatro come alive, I feel like. Maybe a bit late. He was, you know, a bit slower on the first few maps, but that was a great performance there on to Zigzag. And if he can keep it up, this is nothing is over yet, as we're now going to Semiramis, the 5th map. I hope it is. Semiramis, it should be, if my sheet is correct here. It is indeed Semiramis, the next map. This one is a hectic one, especially if you have it as your last map and you have to close out finalist mode here, like Pack will now have to as he hit finalist mode. We'll see how it goes. This can really flip either way. And then we have, at the end of the map here in the preview, you can see these jumps up the staircase before you do the grass jump and drop into the finish. So that section is going to be very decisive on Semiramis, and we are going live here with the first round and perhaps the last round of this match for Pack.
Yeah, Pack will find himself in good stead here. He's obviously played this map a bunch, not one of the newer maps, has been around for a while, so he's very comfortable on it. Of course, the most difficult parts about this map, that drift in the middle, the left-hander, where you want to make sure you're maintaining as much speed as possible. Kappa already fallen behind the first 3 players in this one, so he's pretty much out of the running for that first place. Pack also losing a lot of speed through those drifts, through that planted left into right-hander. You can see he's about 2/10 behind everyone. Now, this is the difficult turn. Drift it to the left, maintain as much speed as possible, send it, and Pack loses all of his speed. He's basically out of this one. No 3 points for him, at least in this round. Spam and Miquatro, though, 2 at the bottom of the standings, fighting for that first place, fighting for those 10 points, and it's only really the identity left to go. We go left around here, long turn, and now the identity looms in the distance. Low or high jumps, that's the question. Spam clips the wall. Miquatro through the first one clean, through the second one clean, through the third one clean. He gets all of the jumps he needed, and it is an easy drive home to the finish here. Miquatro will take first. Kappa will look for second place. Spam will come home in third. And Puck really gave this one up after he knew that he couldn't get first place. So we'll come home in 4th.
Yeah, great from Miquatro there. The time in itself, a 1:10.7, is also very solid. 0.6 behind the world record, but this is a map that you're really just trying to survive. You're not really trying to push for pace here. We saw 3 mistakes and only 1 clean run, and that was a very fast run at that. So Miquatro here not too far away, considering how far he was earlier. Now it's within the realms of possibility. Just has to use this momentum that he's built up now and keep it going into this round. All 4 players here through the first turns. Kappa also making it now. Let's see what he can do when he's right next to the other competitors. We're coming into this turn here to the left, the most difficult turn on the map. You want to land, drift to the left, and then full send it to the right. You cannot hesitate, or you will not make this series of jumps afterwards. Miquatro dropping down a little bit as Kappa is trying to deny Pack here. He's the only player standing between Pack and winning the match, and he has to defend here if he wants to win the match himself. Going up into the drift here before the identity, he has to lead by 0.2 of a second, and Pack has nothing to lose. He's going to push everything here to try to catch up to Kappa. Almost going too wide. There might have the speed to get that jump, just barely make it, but it is not enough. Kappa holds strong here, and Kappa should be able to get the 10-pointer if he has the speed for the last jump. He's going to bounce, but it will be enough. Kappa getting 10 points, a 110.40, and what a run that is from Kappa to defend from finalist and to put himself now only 7 points away from it.
Yeah, crazy run there from Kappa. He's only 3/100ths away from the world record for his personal best. This was about 3/10ths away from it, but Kappa, an incredibly good racer on this track, so no real surprises that he is absolutely storming through these laps. Now, 7 points away from being finalist himself. Miquatro and Spam sitting down around 30 points behind, but all Kappa really needs is either a first place or, a couple more finishes. He needs Pack to consistently fail, which he has been struggling a little bit just to keep that speed up through these last couple of rounds here on Semiramis. And Kappa is out, so now he is very reliant on Spam and on Miquatro to finish this one out. But as I say that, Spam falls out as well. It's all on Miquatro to try and chase down Pack, but Pack is absolutely flying, storming through these corners as we get up towards the identity, just this jump and then the left-hander before we get towards that final portion of the map. Miquatro is chasing a 10th down right now into the jumps. Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go low, you're gonna play it safe. Pack takes the lower jump. Miquatro trying to get as close to those turbos as possible. Both of them through, all three of them safe, and Pack has the lead. 2/10ths ahead, just needs to hit this final jump. Manages it. Puck will claim 3 points here in round 4.
Yeah, GG's to Pack there. He really had the grips of the match the entire way. It was looking a little bit shaky with closing out finalist mode, but he gets it now. And very important for Miquatro as well to get that 6-pointer. He is now building up a little bit of a gap down to Spam, and also maybe getting a little bit closer to Kappa. Kappa will hit finalist no matter what after this round. And then we are going on to the final map in the map pack, which is Paradise. So really just trying to get as much as you can here out of this round. Getting first and second for Spam and Miquatro would be ideal if they want to try to get the second place. So they really have to fend off Kappa now. But Kappa has nothing to lose in this match. Either he gets 4 points or he gets 10, He will still be finalist. Spam, though, clipping the corner there on that downhill transition, making it a 1-versus-1 here. Miquatro versus Kappa. Miquatro with a little bit more speed across the grass, a wider line to push for a better line into this corner, and it's paying off. A great line there from Miquatro to send him up into first place now. Struggles a little bit with the gear, almost misses the jump, but he is in it, and he's right next to Kappa before the identity jumps. Here, Pack won the last round. Can Miquatro clutch this with the inside jumps? He clips the first one, and that's a respawn. Kappa will not just get finalist, but he'll importantly deny the other players points here. It's going to be Spam into second place and Miquatro into third. So the match is both equalizing at the bottom and also getting very, very close to its ending here, Medic.
Yeah, of course, that single point that you get for third place is so vital when we get down towards the end of the day. Currently, only 1 point separates whether or not you make it into that top 8, We see Affy sitting at 5, Binks sitting at 4. It is so close between all of these guys. So even if you are struggling to win your group, even if someone like Pack really takes it away, you really want to make sure you can get that either second or third place to get yourself more points on the board. As you say, though, we are moving into Paradise for our final map. A little bit of a tricky identity. Keeping your grip on the ice can be difficult, of course. Early on as well, there's a few speed checks. You need to make sure you are maintaining as much speed as possible to get through that first shortcut. A single clip can cost you a good portion of time here, Wirtual. It becomes very difficult to navigate the map successfully if you lose some speed early on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, here you really gotta keep your head calm all the way through. Yesterday, we saw this being one of the first maps in the World Cup, and it was mistakes all over. This is not a map that you can drive at the highest level if you're not ready for it. So I think the players have put in a lot of practice knowing that they might come up on this map here, and especially in such an important scenario as this right before the ending. This is when you have to perform the first shortcut jump, land at the checkpoint, and then drop down onto the road here with enough speed. That is not as easy as it looks. They all manage to get through it. Now we go on to the banked corner, Kappa clipping, and that speed loss is going to cost him a lot for the remainder of the track here. We'll lose about a second from that clip, and I think Spam and Miquatro now can breathe a bit easier, but this 10-pointer between the two will be extra important now, as they only have 1 point between them. So let's see who will fight for it here, who will get the best ending to the map. This drift being very important. Miquatro is pushing with an inside line, not releasing, not hesitating whatsoever, and getting about a 0.2 gap down to Spam before the identity of the track, this ice wall that they're going to climb. 0.4 is the difference on the checkpoint in the favor of Miquatro as they dive down the first ice wall. Spam barely avoiding the checkpoint, and now the last ice wall. Ice slide into the finish. Miquatro has it under lock and key with a 108.4 to put him at 105 points overall. Ever closer now to catching up to Kappa.
Yeah, really nice finish there from Miquatro. You could see the freewheeling section, he just maintained so much speed, as you said, wasn't hesitating, didn't release, now at 105 points, Spam at 100. Miquatro and Spam do still need 2 more finishes, and they have to keep Kappa away from that first place. But with Kappa clipping the first time we went round here on Paradise, maybe there's some hope for both of them. Miquatro a little bit behind Spam and Kappa as we get towards this first jump, and work our way down towards that second jump as well. As you say, Spam breathing down the neck of Kappa onto the dirt turn. This is where Kappa struggled last time, but is able to get through it relatively clean this time. Spam still about a 1/10.5 away from him, but we'll try and chase him down across these next few turns. An inside line there onto the dirt jump, using all the space here, and Kappa caught a little bit of air there. We'll give Spam just that little bit more speed as we work our way towards the freewheeling section, but it's all about this turn. Can you dodge that wall? Both of them. Oh no, Spam clipped it. Kappa was able to stay away from it. Miquatro now the only guy that can stop Kappa from claiming 2 points and rocketing himself up those global leaderboards. Kappa with a higher line. Miquatro trying to catch up with him, but he goes wide. Kappa, all you got to do is finish. All you got to do is slide it in, and he manages to do that. Kappa will take 2 points out of this. Spam looking to come home next, as Miquatro has had to reset to finish it off. Spam ekes his way across the finish line. Miquatro will come home with 4 points.
And a very important second place there for Spam, because it puts Miquatro at 109 points. So Miquatro now, even with a win in this round, he cannot get to finalist mode. So very important there for Spam to get that second place. But you know, we talked about Pack and Kappa being the two favorites in this match. They really showed that now. Both were at 7 points before this match and are looking very poised to qualify. But for the bottom of the scoreboard, or the middle of the scoreboard, these points, this 1 point will be very important for the overall standings. Both Miquatro and Spam need this if they want to reach playoffs. So here we go into this 1v1 for the final point out of this match. Miquatro currently leading here, trying to deny Spam. If Spam wins this round, then we will have a double finalist situation. But if Miquatro wins, he could potentially get one undisturbed attempt, just showing his prowess in that specific turn. This is where he's won out on Spam multiple times on Paradise, just committing to that line and getting a lot of speed. 0.3 of a lead now into the ice wall, into the Paradise. Does he hold the line here? Avoids the checkpoint, but Spam is getting closer with more speed. Could decide to risk it all on the line. He's trying, but Miquatro holds it. And we will have Miquatro with a small advantage, just 1 point shy of reaching finalist with 1 round to go on Paradise.
And we'll see if he can keep that advantage. His freewheeling has been sublime to watch across the course of these last 4 rounds, and he'll have to be able to keep it up if he's going to bring it home. Of course, if Spam gets first place here, he will go into finalist. Miquatro will be there as well, and we will move on to Bicycle, our final map of the day, for that all-important decider to see who gets that single point. We talk about how important those points are. It's going to be tight. At the end of the day, it could be a single point that decides whether you are into the playoffs or into the semifinals or not. Spam out to a bit of an early lead here, about a 10th ahead of Miquatro as we get onto the dirt section. For the moment, though, Miquatro has got Spam in his sights. He's got him close enough that he can strike, especially through this freewheeling section. Let's watch Miquatro here, see how much speed he's able to maintain. Just over 200. I think it was about 199 as he went through, which is slower than he usually is. And you can see Spam just building a slight margin ahead of him. Miquatro with a slightly better line through that second section, but Spam still has a 2/10 advantage as we get on towards the first part of the identity, but Spam loses it. And Miquatro now slides it home. Miquatro comes first, Spam comes second, and Miquatro will have one unanswered round where he is a finalist.
I'm muted. Oh, I'm again muted. Yeah, we're going on to the last map here, guys. Bicycle, it's a 1 versus 1. Spam versus Miquatro. Miquatro with the upper hand. One round where he is finalist and Spam isn't. And as we know in the finalist format, when you are in this situation, this is when you have to perform. This is when you have to deliver and win just one round to secure the point. That is what is at stake. Let's get into it. The players are concluding their warm-up, and then we go live into perhaps the final or the penultimate round of this match. Medic, take it away.
Yeah, super excited to see this one. Last time we saw them both on Bicycle, they traded 3rd and 4th place. It was Spam who got out to the early lead, and then Miquatro was able to reel him back in across the course of the last 2 rounds. Here, Miquatro is just looking for that one win. Just needs to get to the checkered flag first, one time, before Spam does. Through the early portion of the map, pretty even between the two. You can see Spam getting a little bit more speed up through that section, now down into these right-handers. Miquatro has been able to pull him back in and takes a lead for himself. Now, onto the dirt. Spam slightly ahead, but Miquatro with a better line. Over the ice now, we'll be looking up towards that Yep tree jump. All important here. Do you risk it? Do you go close to the big oak? Both of them managing to get past it just there. Miquatro still about a 10th ahead of Spam. Is he going to be able to pull this one back in? He kind of choked at the end of the last race, and here Miquatro has just a little bit more speed than him going into the identity, but Miquatro goes very deep. Does he get more of a boost? Does he get more of a slingshot? Spam into it first once again. Miquatro shouldn't have the speed here. Spam will make it a double finalist to round us out.
Oh, Spam coming in so clutch there when it matters. He is one of the most veteran Trackmania players. This is his 8th World Championship. He's played this countless times. But now Medic will see if he can deliver in the final round when it truly matters. Will Spam be able to get the point, or will Miquatro come out of this one with a point to his name?
I have to see as Miquatro and Spam are in a death match. It's do or die for you here. Getting that single point can be so important. Obviously, Miquatro so fast, only sitting at 2. One more would get him within touching distance of that top 8. Spam currently sitting in the top 8, assuming not knowing the results of the rest of the map so far, but only getting 3rd place here will be a small consolation prize for him. Spam 2/10 behind Miquatro. Once again, we are going to go over that jump. Spam going slightly closer to the tree, but managing to keep it together. Miquatro with an awful bounce, lost a huge amount of speed there, and Spam has overtaken him, but Spam's hit the wall as well. Miquatro can chase him down. Miquatro has more speed coming into the identities. It's neck and neck. Both of them flubbed it, but somehow we still have a race on our hands. Virtual Miquatro with more speed coming out of the first identity. Spam trying to get into the second one, trying to hold on to it. Miquatro, the most penalizing a penalty grass, claims another victim. Spam will take the single point as Miquatro DNFs.
What a round, Meta.